Today, we're going to be looking at all of the reviews that are out for Mario and Luigi Brothership, and it's kind of a mixed bag. So we're going to dig in. Before we do, make sure to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and ring that bell. And well, let's jump into these reviews. The Enemy gives the game a 100. It's a perfect game, apparently. With their summary is Brothership keeps the series spirit alive with smart battles and a funny story. Devior. Some of these places I've never heard of, so bear with me. They gave it a 95. It says, with so many bespoke moments for each little mini story, complete with unique mini games and interesting character arcs, Brothership is bursting at the seams with fun things to do. Brothership is everything you knew about the series taken to the next level. If you like RPGs with a great sense of humor, you shouldn't miss out. Nintendo's gave it a 90. They say Mario and Luigi is the grand return of the franchise that so many fans have been waiting for. The game brings together everything that made the series fun and enhances it with gorgeous graphics, a fun cast of characters, and addictive action-packed turn-based combat. IGN Adriria says Mario & Luigi brings fresh humor and plenty of creativity to this somewhat forgotten RPG series, with a combat system that's fun and interactive. Exploring the world of Concordia offers a true sense of adventure and a uniquely charming Nintendo experience that many will enjoy, though the game's pacing and rhythmic battles may not appeal to everyone. Nintendo Life gave it a 90. Mario & Luigi Brothership takes this long-running RPG series to new heights in a high-seas adventure that's packed full of top-notch combat, inventive variety, and a positive and thoughtful story, and lots of signature comedy from the dynamic duo themselves. This is a big game, packed full of surprises and fun, and the all-new Battle Plug system alongside lots of flashy specials, a fittingly emotive art style, and a world that's brimming with puzzles and challenges make for a must-play in our book. Sector.sk gives it a 90, because it takes a while, but when the Brothership is in full swing, it's an excellent RPG. After all these years, exploration, arcade elements, tactical strategy, and the mix of gameplay is top-notch. We're so glad that the Switch has its entry in the series. The Gamer also gave it a 90. Says this is the first Mario and Luigi on Switch, and it very much feels like the series' first big budget home console entry. It's so much bigger than any of the older games, not just in terms of playtime, but in terms of ideas too. The only bad thing about Brothership is that it sets the bar so high, there's no going back to the originals now. Vooks also gave it a 90. Mario & Luigi Brothership is a joy to play, as well as an excellent entry in the Mario & Luigi series. Even as the Switch era is sailing towards new waters, it is a real treat to see them release such amazing games. I hope it gets all the attention it deserves in spite of being released on the tail end of the Switch's lifespan. If you haven't had the opportunity to play a game from the Mario & Luigi series, this is a good jumping in point as any, and this is a must-own for long-term fans of any of the Mario RPG entries. Jack News also gave it a 90. Mario has ventured to massive worlds before. He's even surfed the cosmos across different galaxies. Rarely has a world in any of these games felt this connected. Mario & Luigi Brothership is a game about building bonds, the kind Mario shares with his cherished brother. My Nintendo News gives the game a 90. Mario & Luigi Brothership is an exceptional adventure that's just as much about the journey as it is the destination. Whether you are new to the series or you've played every Mario & Luigi game up to this point, the captivating narrative with well-written and comedic characters is sure to keep you thoroughly engaged as you travel from island to island to help reconnect the land of Concordia. From the brain-stimulating puzzles to the extensive RPG battle mechanics, there is a boatload of fun to be had around every turn. And last up, we'll look at Level Up. They gave it a 90. They say Mario & Luigi Brothership is the biggest and most ambitious game from the franchise, and it was worth the wait. It maintains the soul of the Mario & Luigi games, and it also adds a lot of interesting things that makes it a complete and sublime experience. It can be the beginning of a new and bright future for the brothers. Now, moving forward, we're jumping down into some of the scores that are in the 80s. First up is Nintendo. Gave it an 88. Nintendo has made the return of Mario & Luigi and Brothership the most complete and entertaining entry in the series, blending strategic gameplay with immersive exploration in a new world. Although the story may feel a bit childish, its adaptation to Switch and the complexity of the mechanics make it a very solid and enjoyable RPG experience. New York Times gives Brothership an 85. This is part of what makes Mario & Luigi Brothership compelling is the momentary rush of joining each island to create a power grid. There are unapologetic puns galore, and leveling up is all about learning patterns. PC Mag gave it an 80. Mario & Luigi Brothership is the plumber's first RPG outing on the Nintendo Switch. It's an adorable and merry high seas adventure filled with side quests. Inverse gives it an 80. For those who decide to delve in and grind to the end, Brothership has a message about how we're all in this together. And seeing the classic brothers get up to all sorts of creative hijinks is always a fun nostalgia trip, providing just enough cuteness to see this journey through. God is a Geek gives it an 80. Since Brothership is a fun time but has frustrating moments, it's not an easy recommendation like Paper Mario, but you'll have a good time nonetheless. Now we're going to take a look at a couple of the scores that are in the 70s here. Checkpoint Gaming says, Mario & Luigi Brothership is undeniably endearing, learning from other media forms to present an uplifting adventure with lovable protagonists. With too much dialogue and backtracking implemented within the game's design, it can run at a pace that feels slow, ballooning what should be a fun jaunt into an overly long adventure. There's room for further fine-tuning of ideas, meaning Brothership isn't the flawless seafaring journey we wanted, though it's also far from a shipwreck with incredible charm and gameplay offerings carrying this title across picturesque waters. Take a look at Screen Rant here. They gave it a 70. It says, even with these negatives, however, this is a game that I truly loved playing. The story, fun abilities and skills, the citizens of Concordia, and more all came together to make this a really fun experience. Mario and Luigi are both perfectly portrayed, with Luigi having more of a chance to be a hero than he often gets, and Princess Peach is as much of a symbol of charm and heroism as ever. I truly hope that the Mario and Luigi Brothership will serve to usher in many more games in this series' future. And lastly, we're going to take a look at the two scores that are 50s. First up being Digital Trends. Says Brothership's problems will look familiar to anyone who found themselves disappointed by games like Mario & Luigi Paper Jam or Paper Mario Sticker Star. Nintendo has seemingly convinced itself that every Mario RPG needs to have bespoke gimmicks. It's not enough to give players a well-written story and iterate on solid combat foundations. There always has to be a twist, or two, or three. Those layers drag Brothership down the longer the adventure goes on, making even its intriguing climax feel exhausting by the end. Last up is IGN with a score of 50. Mario & Luigi Brothership is an incredibly disappointing return for an RPG series I've always loved. Apart from the combat, it fundamentally misunderstands its own past success and completely fumbles Luigi's role in puzzle solving and exploration by making him more of a pain than a partner. The story is simplistic and unoriginal. Its attempts at humor fall flat, and the overly chatty writing holds your hand to a ridiculous degree. It's not a total disaster, as the excellent, flashy turn-based battles are some of the best the series has ever had, but even those somehow manage to wear thin as the repetitive final act crawls across the finish line of this roughly 34-hour campaign, which suffers from the surprisingly bad performance issues nearly the entire time. The Switch has been home to so many triumphant revivals for Nintendo, but the Mario & Luigi series has sadly missed the boat. So as we think about all of these different reviews, it's so interesting to see some scores so high and praise it, while others are basically on the other end of the spectrum saying that this is an incredibly disappointing return. I have a hard time thinking the game is that bad based on the way everybody praised it through the previews. Everything I saw from the previews made it look fantastic. I'm excited to jump into this one, and we'll be playing day one. If you've got questions, comments, let me know below. I want to hear from you. Do you think this game is going to be disappointing, or do you think it's going to really move the series forward? I think that's what's so difficult about looking at these reviews. You've got people that are saying it's the bar is set so high now they can never go back, and others saying that it missed the boat. I'm already seeing conversations in the Discord, people wondering like, what is up with this? Why such a low score from IGN or Digital Trends, and then why such a high score from some of these other outlets? It's going to be interesting to see for ourselves. Like I said, I will be jumping in. I will be streaming it. If you want to see for yourself and hear my thoughts, just make sure to stay tuned to the channel, and we will see you in the next one.